Welcome everyone to Best Interest. This is Shane back for a stock pick of the day video. We're going to take a look at Northrim Bank. This is a regional bank out of Alaska. This is the vested interest stock screener. This is the criteria we will be going through in this video. Since it is a bank, we will look at price to book, so it must meet must meet 6 of 9 to make it onto my watch list. Now, keep in mind, if it does make it onto my watch list, or any company makes it onto my watch list, that does not necessarily mean I am interested in buying. It just means out of the thousands of companies out there, it is one I'm interested in doing more of a deep dive into the financials of the company. And don't blindly just buy any company that makes it on my watch list, or any other YouTuber that you are watching. Make sure you're doing your own due diligence and buying stocks based on the criteria that you set up for yourself, based on your retirement timeline, what you're looking for to accomplish, what returns that you want, that sort of thing. So don't blindly copy anyone out there, including super investors. Make sure you're investing for yourself based on the criteria you've set up for yourself. You can use some of these, for example, the stock screener here for an example. Even steal some of the ideas or tweak it to your own liking, but don't blindly invest in other things that people are investing in. That way you know what you are buying. And the reason for that, if you buy something and you don't understand why you bought it, the chances are, if it does have a pullback, you're going to freak out and sell. All right, I'm going to get off that soapbox and we'll get back into the video. All right, you can check them out at northrim.com. That's www.northrim.com, www.northrim.com. That is their homepage where I pulled this information from. From a trailer to statewide service and more, how Northrim grew out of the ashes of an Alaska recession. It was early 1980s and Alaska was thriving. Oil flowed freely through the Trans-Alaska pipeline. Businesses were booming. Houses were popping up everywhere. Then in 1987, the stock market crashed and oil prices plummeted to single digits per barrel, devastating the Alaska economy. During this time, 13 financial institutions failed across Alaska, displacing many customers and opening the door for Northrim. Northrim's founders knew that Alaska needed a different type of bank, a strong, independent local bank with community and customer service at its heart. Through pure dedication to purpose, they worked to raise the $8 million in capital needed for the startup, and Northrim Bank opened on December 4th, 1990, born out of the ashes of the recession. You can read the rest of this here, but out of a 80s recession, they started, sounds like a group of people started a bank, and they do typical bank things, right? So you've got personal banking, business banking, commercial banking, and then more information about Northrim if you're interested. And personal banking, you see checking, debit cards, credit cards, savings and money market accounts, education savings plans for your kids, health savings accounts, HSAs, vehicle, personal, real estate loans, home loans, CDs, investment portfolios, annuities, IRAs, online and mobile banking, personal finance help, deposits and transfers. So this typical things that banks do. They also do that for businesses, basically all the same things. They also offer retirement accounts for businesses, and pretty much the same for commercial banking as well. So again, typical bank. They are a regional bank, specifically I think in Alaska. I don't know if they are down in Canada as well, but it sounds like they are specific to the state of Alaska. So those of you maybe up in that area might be familiar with this bank, but it is not a national bank. Again, www.northrim.com if you want to check them out. Now, the reason we're taking a look at them, down 0.54 cents on the day, or a negative 0.58%. I believe this was recommended by a subscriber, but I can't remember who recommended it or could not find exactly who that was. So apologies for not putting your name up. And if you did recommend this, go ahead and drop your name down in the comment section. I appreciate the recommendation. Northrim BanCorp is who we're talking about. Ticker NRIM, out of the financial sector. Again, they are a bank. 52-week range as low as $63.68, as high as $100.21. At $91.88, they are much closer to their 52-week high than their 52-week low. They are not within 15% of a 52-week low either. They would need to drop under $73.23 per share. They have a market cap of $507.423 million. So this would be a small cap company, a beta of 1.02, so just slightly more volatile than the overall market. Price to earnings ratio is $11.48 per share, but that is not a good metric for banks. We're going to look at price to book here in a minute, which is a better metric. Earnings per share, EPS at $7.99. Earnings date coming up in October 22nd. Forward dividend is $2.56. They are a quarterly payer, so divide by 4, though we will see that here towards the end of the video, with a current starting dividend yield of 2.77%. Ex-dividend date is tomorrow. So you would actually have to be buying this company today, which we're already past regular opening trading hours. There are after hours. I don't know if this does trade in the after hours. Some companies don't. but you would have had to be buying them today to get this next ex-dividend. If you buy them tomorrow, you're not going to get that next dividend, or not guaranteed to. And it looks like they pay out on the 12th. 1 year target estimate $108, and that is a new 52-week low, at least according, or a 52-week high, at least according to Yahoo Finance. Now, jumping over to the right, I like to look at dividend yield theory to see if the company is potentially undervalued. To do that, we look at their 5-year dividend yield average of 3.89%. We compare that to their current over here, 2.77%, or over here forward at 2.77, same number. Since it is lower than their 5-year average, that actually speaks to overvaluation on this one, at least according to dividend yield theory. Payout ratio is relatively low. I like under 75%. They're at 31.54%. Looking at price to book, you can see their current price to book is at 1.76. We like under 1, so it doesn't quite get there for me. So this needs to drop significantly. Looks like you could have got them cheaper back here last September 2024 at 1.53, or June even cheaper at 1.33%. But none of them have been under 1 in the last year. Really, for banks, 1 is fair valued. Anything under 1, undervalued. Anything over 1, slightly overvalued. Now, we still want free cash flow growing. Looking back here in time, December 2021, $109 million. Looks like it dropped down in 2022 to $74 million. 2023, $32 million. A continuation of that decline in 2024, negative $9.3 million. And the trailing 12 months, $48 million. So it looks like they're back on the upswing here in 2025, but steady decreases over the last few years up until recently. Repurchase of capital shares, $11 million in 2021, just over that. $14 million in 2022. 2023 down to $9 million, 2024 $789,000. Looks like not a significant amount, or even worth recognizing here so far in the trailing 12 months. Now, jumping over to stockanalysis.com, they did not have a forecast projected for this one, so nothing to share there, but we will jump into return on invested capital, which they didn't have listed either, and they didn't have revenue growth forecasted, or EPS, which I like 5% there. And return on capital, typically I like 10% better. So not very much to really look at as far as this one is concerned, and probably because it is a very small regional to Alaska bank. All right, quarterly payer, as we mentioned, 3.179% payout, so under 40%. They're under 35% really. Dividend growth of 4.1%. 15 years of growth. Buyback yield is negative, so that means they are issuing more shares than they are pulling out of the market, which we don't like, or I don't like. That means they are diluting you as a shareholder. Shareholder yield is positive at 2.29%. They do pay, like most companies, March, June, September, December timeframe. Going back here to March 2023, they were paying 60 cents in dividends. It looks like they raised that up March 2024 to 61 cents. September 2024, so there's 2 raises in 24, up to 62 cents, even though it's just a penny. March 2025 up to 64 cents. Doesn't look like they're maintaining that 2 raises, just maintaining that 64 cents for their September payout. So it does look like they have steady dividend growth. It's not, great dividend growth. 4.1% does typically beat the yearly inflation, but not by a lot. So I don't know, if you're in Alaska and maybe you use this bank, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Northrim. Let's check it out in the screener and see what's going on here. Understand the business? Yes. I mean, they're a bank, right? I understand most businesses, unless they're extremely difficult to process, maybe some tech companies that have their hands in some things I'm not aware of or something like that. Growing free cash flow over the last 4 years? No. It actually was negative for a few years. Just turned positive, looks like in 2025. Growing dividend? Yes, it is growing around 4%, a little over. Dividend payout ratio is under 75%, so check there. The rest of them, they don't get anything. Nothing for dividend yield theory. It says they're potentially overvalued. It is not within 15% of a 52-week low, so no check there. Return on capital wasn't listed. Earnings per share wasn't listed, and it is not under 1 price to book. So 3 out of 9 does not get it onto my watch list. Again, if this is one that you have in your portfolio, let me know what the reasoning behind this. Maybe it's a bank you use. Maybe you live up in Alaska and you understand it a little more than what the numbers show. Would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. And as always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up, ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the vested interest community. Again, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Northrim. Let me know what you think of the videos. I do personally read and respond to the comments. I am always interested to read your questions, opinions, or suggestions for future topics. So if you have a company like Northrim you'd like me to cover in the stock pick of the day series, drop it in the comment section and I'll work it into the rotation on the day it pulls back. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great week, and we will see you in the next one. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion and investors for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can't lose money. You should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research. Invest based on your situation, circumstances, and select the criteria, or see the advice counsel by a certified financial advisor. For those of you who watch to the end, really do appreciate that. Watch time is one of the metrics that the YouTube algorithm uses to spread the videos a little further. And if you know anyone who might like the content, go ahead and share that with them and push these videos out a little more. I really do appreciate it.